danger, right? Now what would be interesting is if we can go ahead and query the DNS server and tell it to give us all the DNS entries which it has in it. So that is something called a domain transfer, right? So the way we can do that is, let's say first we go ahead and find, dig google.com, and we find one of these name servers, and then we go ahead and request that name server to tell us everything about google.com. So what should happen ideally is that the whole zone transfer should occur for google.com, and whatever ns2.google.com holds as the DNS entries for the whole google.com zone should be sent to us. So let's try it out. But now what you see is that the transfer has failed, and the reason is most DNS servers basically as a security feature turn off zone transfers. So it might not be possible always to have a zone transfer done. So Google has it disabled, but some places might have it enabled. So as an example, maybe you can try out an educational institution, because most of them would have it enabled. And let's say we go ahead and find out iitg.ernet.in, right? So we can first find out the name servers which are here, and we go ahead and see that Luit is one of the name servers. So we go ahead and make a request to Luit, right? So iitg.ernet.in, so this is the educational institution where I studied. So one of the premier educational institutes in India, and I was lucky enough to be there. So let's go ahead and make a query to luit.iitg.ernet and tell it to do the whole zone transfer of the IITG domain by using this command, right? So a whole zone transfer request is being initiated, and now if you look at it, we've actually got a reply, and this is the whole zone, right? iitg.ernet.in, and then you have these servers which are there here, and what is exactly the server's IP addresses, so on and so forth. So whatever DNS records luit.iitg.ernet had about this domain has been now sent to us, right? So you can see a whole lot of servers, whatever is there, right? And most of these are actually been named as shiloi.iitg.ernet.in, webmail.iitg, so on and so forth. So right, the whole zone, DNS zone, has been transferred using the AXFR command. It's an interesting command, but not most people have it enabled. So once again, trying to go ahead and synopsize the whole video tutorial is that using commands like dig or nslookup, there's another command nslookup which almost does the same thing. You can check it up, but most people use dig now. We can find out more about the DNS records of a particular domain. This is very useful because, let's say, as a vulnerability assessment expert, somebody says, I have this domain xyz.com, go ahead and do a vulnerability assessment, a black box vulnerability assessment from somewhere on the internet. So all you have is this fully qualified domain name. So where do you start? How do you find out what is the IP address, what are the domain name servers, what is the mail server's address, so on and so forth, and maybe if a zone transfer is allowed, you could find out even all the other servers which are hosted on the same network, and this gives you a staging point for more vulnerability assessment exercises as to which servers you need to go ahead and test. Well, that's it for this session. Thank you.